My name's Tom Anastasi. I'm the Director of Sales for Northern Europe at Bringg. In a second, I'll go through a little bit more detail around what it is we do as an organization. But the purpose of this session today is to really talk about one of our existing customers, a company called Co-op, one of the largest grocers in the UK. We partnered with Co-op in 2019. So really pre-pandemic, and we've been through quite a journey with them over the past couple of years, and they've been through quite a significant transformation. So there's a lot of kind of key insights that I wanted to share with you today, and hopefully you find the session productive. Just to kind of give you a bit of an insight around Bringg and what we do as an organization. So we were founded in 2013, and like any organization with a great idea, we started out of a specific need or a specific want from customers. Our founder was sitting, he ordered a pizza online, and he couldn't really understand why there wasn't an Uber-like experience where he could track from the store right the way to his front door. He didn't really understand why that didn't exist. So fast forward to now, we're working with some of the largest organizations globally, helping them to really reimagine what customer success, what customer experience looks like within the last mile. I'm sure that it's no surprise here that people's expectations have shifted quite significantly pre-pandemic and then to post-pandemic. There is a whole different level of expectation from customers around what it is that they experience from a delivering partner and from the organizations that they decide to do business with. So today we're we're in 50 different countries. We manage about 15 million orders per month, and we have no chance of kind of slowing that down. Recently, we acquired a business called Zencraft, which is helping us to fulfill the parcel element. So really giving that kind of complete package. Whether it's kind of working with third-party logistics providers, whether it's working with your own fleet, or whether it's click and collect, Bringg is one platform that helps to combine everything, and then all the data encapsulated within that, which I can go into in a bit more detail as we go through the presentation. If my clicker will work. So going back to Co-op, for those of you who know who Co-op are, they are one of the largest grocers in the UK, and they are made up as a cooperative of different stores. And what this means is essentially they've got the customer at the heart of everything that they do. It's really, really important. They're owned by a number of different members, and they've really got a vision around making sure that the convenience and retail is accessible for everyone. And that's right the way from London, right the way up to the Highlands of Scotland, the different islands off the edge of the UK. They wanted to make sure that everything is accessible, convenient, and everyone has access to their products and services. In fact, they actually run a couple of their stores at a loss because to make sure that they can service the local community. It's very, very important to them. So customer experience, customer satisfaction is really at the heart of everything that they do. And the result of this is, they really are the number now, getting to a point where they're the number one online convenience retailer in the UK. And they were kind of, I guess, behind the curve. And I will share a video with you later on, which is from Jason Perry, who will talk to you around some of the challenges and some of the place they were in before and where they needed to get to accelerate things moving forwards. But now they are one of the key kind of innovators, and we partner with them to help them to really revolutionize the way that they deal with customers and the way the experience they deliver to their customers. A bit more information on Co-op. So they are the 5th largest food retailer in the UK. They actually, for those of you who know, they offer a range of different products and services, from kind of funeral care to other different financial services as well. Food is the biggest part of their business and the fastest growing part of their business. They're in 2,600 different locations, and as I mentioned before, it's made up of different members within the organization that owns Co-op. There's 4.6 million members. they were new to a mature market in the UK, and they were playing catch up, which they needed to accelerate at a rate to be able to pick up with everything that was going on in the world at the time around COVID and things that were starting to manifest around that. So Co-op had some specific challenges. Like I said, their whole ethos is around making sure that everything is accessible to the whole of the UK. They wanted to make sure that everybody has access to their products and services no matter where they live. This brings on challenges around customer speed and reliability. People have different needs in different locations of the UK. It's far easier, arguably, to deliver something in London than it is in the Highlands of Scotland. But they wanted to make sure that there was a reliable service delivered to those different regions within the UK. But they wanted to also do this, they ultimately wanted to make a profit as an organization. So they wanted to make sure that they were agile and being able to deliver this in an operationally efficient way. So they wanted to make sure they service customers, but not at the demise of profits and revenue. They had a realization that they need to scale up fast. The fact is that a lot of other organizations and their competitors were starting to offer 1 hour delivery, super fast delivery, especially around the time of COVID. So they needed something to launch quickly. And overarching all of this, they needed to help to meet sustainability goals. We know that an increase in e-commerce demand increases delivery. There's going to have a knock-on effect on sustainability. So Co-op are very they have an acknowledgement of this, and they've got very strict sustainability goals that they need to meet and maintain over that period of time. So they started on a journey, and we helped them to define sort of 5 key areas that they want to look at to make sure that they're making the right decision. First and foremost is around customer experience. They wanted to make sure that the brand that customers love to interact with wasn't going to be impacted. So they wanted to make sure there was a seamless experience with whether you're ordering things online or going in store, that it's the same interaction within the same brand. So customer experience was really at the heart and the first point of priority that they were looking at, and everything else was built around that. Secondly, they were looking at technical agility. They wanted to make sure that whoever they decided to partner with, they could integrate with, not only from a back-end perspective around ERP, CRM, multiple different technology platforms they had in place, but also there was a recognition that different innovative ways of delivering were coming around at a rapid pace, right? So they wanted to make sure they partnered with an organization that helped them to take full advantage of that. There's some pictures there of robotic delivery. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I certainly suggest kind of having a look. I think they're doing some stuff at the back over there, but it's some pretty cool technology that Co-op is now taking advantage of. But that was, they wanted to make sure they went from a lagger to being kind of really at the forefront of innovation. Again, they wanted to make sure that this was done in an operationally efficient way, not only from a cost perspective, but just making sure that they were delivering orders in the most sustainable way, right? So making sure that it wasn't costing them and having a huge impact on their profitability as an organization. We wanted to make sure that they had good visibility into everything that was going on within their organization from a delivery standpoint. A key element for them as well was the data and the information from a financial performance perspective. So through Bringg, they were able to monitor the spend with different couriers that they have in place. So that was a big thing for them to be able to then, once they launched things, to be able to then track and monitor how things were going, what it was costing them between different couriers. Also on top of that was the customer satisfaction scores that were being achieved through different couriers as well. So, with customer experience being at the heart of everything that they do, they wanted to make sure they weren't only looking at the cost implications of that, but also what was the knock-on effect of that within the customer satisfaction, customer experience, and who do they choose to partner with, increase their capacity with over a period of time. And the last point I guess is really kind of connected to the first point, is around brand perception, right? So they wanted to make sure that the co-op that people know and love to do business with, that wasn't being impacted at all. So they wanted to make sure that there was a seamless experience again. Underlying all this, again, is around the sustainability goals. So making sure that they were achieving all of this and also had a path to be able to achieve some of those sustainability goals that they had in place. So this is where Bringg came in. So where you first see Bringg is at checkout, where you're offered a number of different delivery options in real time based on predefined rules that you set. That can be around cost, that can be around eco, that can be around fastest delivery, full use of no matter whether that's sort of third party or using your own fleet. We then automatically dispatch based on those rules that are predefined to the different locations or based on the different orders that you have in place, and based on the different things that are being delivered to the customer, and you have full visibility over that. So this is what Co-op got: is full visibility from a control tower perspective over everything that was going on within their delivery network. You wanted to make sure that, because we were working with them around sort of same day ship from store, we wanted to make sure that the store had visibility of everything that was going on as well. So you need to make sure that there's just-in-time, order preparation going on. So they've got full visibility of picking and packing the orders to make sure when the driver arrives, it was ready to go. There's two things there. You need to make sure that you're giving full visibility not only to the customer, but to the courier. You don't want to start upsetting different couriers that you work with because the driver turns up standing around in the store because the store haven't picked and packed their order and getting it ready. Handing off from the driver to the customer is a key element, really, and it's a real sort of lasting impression, I guess, of your brand with the customer. So that needs to be efficient. If there's kind of proof of delivery, if you need to sign for anything, that needs to be efficient, and all the data needs to be captured by the organization, and also the customer needs to be able to see visibility of that as well. And then post the order being delivered, how are you going to measure that customer experience? Going back to the fact that Co-op had, at the heart of everything they do was around customer experience and customer satisfaction. We wanted to make sure that they were then measuring that after the delivery. And all of this feeds into the fact that through Bringg as one platform, you get all the business intelligence and reporting, and we collect data across all points. So whether that's from a driver perspective, from a customer experience perspective, all of that is collected, making sure that you can make those data-driven decisions moving forwards, and it's not just guesswork. This is the only sort of real technical slide I'll show today. All I really wanted to kind of focus on this is that Bringg is an open API platform, meaning that you can integrate with a number of different partners that we work with from an e-commerce, CRM, ERP perspective. Why this was important to Co-op was that they wanted to make sure that they could pick, best in breed technology. They decided to partner with Naveo Commerce from an e-commerce perspective. Equally, if you're another organization that wanted to partner with other businesses, we wanted to make sure that that's open API integration. Doesn't really matter. It's based around what it fits your needs. And then the other end of that, because of the open API platform, it doesn't matter if it's, your own fleet, third-party fleet, click and collect. All that information is then collected, and the data is retained internally, and it's an open platform. So we decided to take a customer-first approach, not only led by Co-op, but also led by their customers. So we decided to approach this in two different ways. In the first phase, we looked at integrating and making sure that everything was integrated in the back end from an e-commerce and an operations perspective, making sure that everything was running smoothly. Secondly, we looked at making sure that there was, we integrated, we worked with a couple of different partners, and Stuart and Gopher, to deliver that third-party delivery. They wanted to get up and running quickly, being able to offer same-day delivery. Then we launched a driver application. So not only drivers being able to see what their next delivery was, but also it's important for the customer to then be able to communicate directly back with the driver. So we come across quite often around, customers aren't, in this instance, it's around urgency, it's around speed, but also people want full visibility around when things are going to be delivered, right? It's around that time-defined delivery as opposed to quickest delivery. What you don't want to do is run into what we kind of refer to sometimes as the shower problem, right? You've been given a couple of hour delivery time slot, you go and decide to jump in the shower, or the kids are screaming or whatever, and guess what? That's when your courier turns up. Right, so it's really important to be able to have that interaction between yourself and the driver, and that's what we were able to launch. Real-time dispatch and visibility, so being able to kind of set predefined rules and then being able to automate that process to be able to then send out and dispatch things in real time, and then providing full visibility. So you can see down the bottom here around our control tower, providing full visibility of where the drivers are, where the orders are in different process. And again, it doesn't matter if this is through own fleet or third party, it's providing all that visibility across one platform. And we launched the customer experience element, so being able to post delivery, then being able to send out a survey based on the experience that they were able to receive. And all of this was branded within Co-op, and we can show you a couple of slides, a couple of screenshots on what that looks like later on. Phase 2, then, we went to business intelligence dashboards, because when we started to launch things and then we started to collect data, that's when we were starting to able to build specific business intelligence dashboards, which they use on a daily basis to decide who they choose to continue to do business with, who they invest an increase in investment in. COVID was kind of at its peak at this point, so contactless delivery was very important. Again, that interaction between the customer and the driver, making sure that you're there and you can just leave the delivery on the doorstep, making sure that contactless delivery was seamless. We then we rapidly expanded into 800 plus stores. We're actually at 1,000 plus stores now. So they wanted to scale up, helping them to kind of achieve that scale up that they were looking to achieve on a couple of slides that I presented before. Then we started to look at their first-party delivery. So they wanted to launch quickly around third-party delivery, working with Gopher and Stuart, but also they have their own set of delivery drivers as well. So how could we help them with that? And that's what we launched within phase 2. And the last point I think is pretty interesting, is they would then start to think, well, how can we help other retailers within the UK? Being able to give access to different parts of the UK, how can we help them deliver maybe through different retailers, not only through grocery, clothing, electronics, etc., etc. So this is what we help them to explore. There are obviously, some challenges associated to this. We run a barometer research, and if you're interested in receiving that afterwards, come and see me. I can share that information with you. We found that 44% of the retailers that we spoke to about 500 different enterprise retailers. 44% of those have multiple different fulfillment channels with different disparate technologies, meaning data is disjointed. And 61% of those lacked real-time visibility into deliveries. So Co-op was also feeling the pain from this as well. They had similar challenges. How we helped them was making sure that drivers arrived on time, not early, not late, which sounds straightforward, but this is kind of going back to the point around time-defined delivery as opposed to just guesswork. We wanted to be able to scale up and ramp up to different delivery providers on an ad hoc basis. So being able to spin up different couriers based on different needs, whether that's speed to delivery or offering more eco-friendly delivery options. And thirdly, they had some very specific needs around kind of delivery complex requirements, most notable of which probably being alcohol, during COVID, making sure that, that you have the right practices in place to making sure that the people you're delivering to are of the right age. Because one of the key challenges that we help them to achieve is offering that proof of delivery, proof of identity, and then being able to track the data and all the information in between. So we work closely with Jason Perry. I won't kind of go through the quotation. He's someone that was really the driver of this project. Had a vested interest in making sure that we were successful. And what I wanted to do, hopefully, if it works, was just to play a quick sort of testimonial video.
As the Co-op, we were really late to being able to deliver groceries online, and so we'd not started anything until end of 2018, early 2019.
We wanted to build a modern technology stack. To do that, we identified a number of services within that stack that were vitally important to our customers. The last mile technology was one of those services we identified.
And what Bringg gave us was a real kind of friendly experience for customers that they were used to. I can track my order, I know when it's coming, I know my rider, what they're called, when the time they're going to be here.
The Bringg branded experience has meant that our customers really trust the experience, and they trust the fact that they're engaging with the Co-op and not engaging with another software company.
With using something like Bringg, we've got a real kind of open door to using different fleets, so whether that's different size vehicles or different kind of sustainability credentials behind that. We've had to scale up very significantly over the last 18 months in particular. Obviously, we had the coronavirus pandemic where we were just kind of at the beginning of our online journey, and that really kind of gave us a bolster to go quicker, harder, faster, cover more kind of locations. And I think now we're in over 200 towns and cities, over 1,000 shops picking online orders as well. Bringg over the last 18 months have been fantastic. They've actually taken a lot of the pain away from the scale, I guess. I think what Bringg has enabled us to do is have multiple different providers that we can call upon where the cost for that delivery is more efficient for us at the Co-op, and then also really kind of give us a lot of visibility into what it's costing us to run this business at a scale as well.
Throughout the process, from when we selected Bringg to how we've worked together, we've grown together, we've bounced things off each other, we've worked on innovative projects together, and at no time has that ever been a challenge or been difficult to overcome. I think we've worked together really, really well to try and land innovative stuff for our customers, and I think if we continue to do that, we'll have a fantastic relationship.
What it's enabled us to do over the last 2 years is build up a really significant part of this business that is going to continue to grow and continue to give customers more access to the Co-op and shop more frequently in more ways that are more convenient to them. I think we wouldn't be there without the success that we've been able to generate with the kind of Bringg partnership.
Okay, excellent. So hopefully that gives you some insight. I'm happy to share that video with anyone afterwards. Specifically, we help them to achieve and exceed some very sort of lofty goals. So again, everything was around customer experience, customer satisfaction. Through Bringg, we're able to help them to improve to 9 out of 10 customer experience rating. And this kind of gives you an example of some of the surveys that the customers receive post delivery. As you can see, it's all branded within Co-op's branding experience, making sure that doesn't fall outside of the brand recognition of the brand image. We're able to help them to reduce costs or able to kind of have around 20% of last mile cost savings. And they're able to measure that experience through that financial performance, being able to capture that data. And we help them to increase revenue significantly from an e-commerce perspective to the tune of around 25x in year one. So some significant growth based on implementing Bringg, being able to offer that same day delivery service. So what's next for Co-op? They've got some pretty ambitious goals. That they're certainly on the innovative kind of forefront of that end of the spectrum now. We're working with them around click and collect trials. So those are up and running successfully, running in different locations up and down the country. We're helping them to scale less than 1 hour delivery. So that super fast, less than 1 hour delivery. Offering eco-friendly deliveries. So offering up customers the option to maybe not select the quickest or cheapest, but most eco-friendly delivery option, working with different third-party providers, but also within Co-op they're looking to replace all their fossil fuel vehicles with electric vehicles by 2025. So then helping them to leverage their own fleet for that perspective as well. I showed you a picture earlier around, they're starting to use some robotic delivery options, specifically in Milton Keynes. So they're really at the forefront of that element. I mentioned before around, distribution of parcels beyond grocery. So looking to help to work with other, different retailers to be able to offer and deliver different products and services. And you may have seen in the news recently, they're also offering up sort of walking deliveries. So saying to their staff, if you're at the end of your shift and you go past this person's house or whatever it is, why don't you go and deliver that? Or maybe offering up the option of, making some extra money or whatever that is, right? And all that is fulfilled through Bringg. So, working through some pretty innovative and kind of forward-thinking different solutions. So I just wanted to kind of leave you with a few sort of key takeaways. So, with Co-op, they focused on the customer experience, making sure that they had that at the heart of everything that they were doing, making sure that there was a good understanding of why they're looking to achieve everything that they were looking to do, not just investing in technology because they thought it was the right thing to do just to kind of keep up with their competition. They wanted to make sure it was the right thing to do for their for their customers. We were able to deliver an open and agile platform, helping them to then make sure that they were choosing technology moving forwards around what is best for them on a scalability scale. So making sure that they were making the right decisions around ERP, CRM, not limited to the last mile provider that they were working with. As I said, we started working with them in 2019. We've been through a ton of different changes with them and helping them to adapt. When we first started working with them was pre-pandemic. We didn't even know that this was going to come about. But we were helping to we helped them to transform the way that they were delivering and helping them to scale the business and making sure that they were able to keep up with the current trends that the customer was expecting. Last thing I just wanted to cover off was around sustainability. We're seeing that as things start to ramp up within e-commerce, there's been specific statistics around the fact that I believe it's World Economic Report was that there was going to be a 33% increase in carbon emissions purely around the fact that e-commerce is growing so quickly. So and Co-op certainly see this, is that they have a kind of a duty to make sure that they are doing everything to reduce that impact on carbon emissions. So we're helping them to do stuff like making sure that they're choosing the most efficient route, but also offering different carrier options based on whether that's walking, whether that's bike services, different eco-friendly options. And like I said before, they're looking to replace all of their vehicles with electric vehicles by 2025 to help them to become completely carbon neutral by 2030, which is their target. So I want to say thank you for your time today. If you have any questions, then I'm happy to answer them now, or we've got a stand over at E30, so I'm happy to, if you wanted to come and ask me any questions after this there, or if anybody has any questions, please put your hand up and I'm happy to answer them now, or you can come and see me afterwards. Okay, great. Thanks everyone.